Greetings sailors and welcome back to World of Warships and a tech tree ship for a change. This is one of my current grinds, the Adatara, which is, as you can see, the tier 9 battle cruiser, which comes before the Bungo. And it's okay, I've played it a bit so far. I haven't quite unlocked the hull yet. This has not been a super priority grind for me, as you can tell. This is not a new line at this point. But yeah, it's got a nice increase of firepower over its tier 8 before it's on the line, because you would go from the 410s, which are very solid, to 18-inch guns. But crucially, they are 18-inch, they are 457s, they are not 460s. So it's not Yamato guns at tier 9, sadly. It's not a battle cruiser Musashi. And it definitely is a battle cruiser, because the other survivability, the other thing that you've got going is the 25mm extremity armor. So yeah, it's not bad. The belt's all right, but 305 is not exactly stellar at this tier, but it is that extremity armor that'll get you. So, yeah, it's definitely not as tanky as the Izumo, but the turrets are also a heck of a lot less awkward than the Izumo. This might be a bit of a low energy recording, by the way. I've got a full week this week of shifts. It's 5 days out of 7. So, yeah, I'm only on the Tuesday now, and I'm already feeling a bit although that partly was because most of the shifts are sort of afternoon to night, but this morning was a morning start and I finished in the afternoon. So I went from yesterday getting home at like 10:30, and then I think I tried to be in bed before 12, and then I had to get up. And no nice relaxed morning, it was just get up and go into work. So yeah, I'm maybe a little more tired than I would be. But the rest of the week's going to be a bit more consistent, because the rest of the week is all the longer evening shifts. Which is why I'm recording this now, because I'm probably not going to have the time or the energy for the rest of the week. So yeah, my plan is to get this out on the Wednesday, so that's when you should be seeing this. Right, we've started in the middle, and it's only the Yamato over here, so we're actually going to swing over this way, and we'll see what we can see. Even without the, even completely stock and only having stock range, it's still fine, nearly 22 kilometers, and of course you've got the high precision spotter going on as well. I've also spec'd it for better reload, so we've got that 26-second reload, which for that size of gun is pretty good. Really can't complain about it. What I can complain about, however, is the double subs and CV, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. This is not the strongest AA ship at tier 9 by any means. We'll see what this Hornet is going to go for. The Hornet in particular, actually, once they get those B-25s going, they can be very unpleasant. I mean, the other squadrons are decent as well, but yeah, the B-25s in particular, definitely not what you want to have dropping on your head, especially when you're in a battleship. Right, so that actually cost them a fair few ships to make that drop on the Yoshino. I might end up taking this one. I don't know how long it's going to run for, but I'm going to kill my speed a bit just so I only take 1 and not 4. And only 1 airdrop torpedo. Yeah, there we go. I took it on the belt. That was what, 2.5k? It wasn't very much. It was like 2k actually. No, it was over 2k. It was more like 3k. Anyway, just under 3k. I can maths! That might be a lie. Anyway, let's take a pop at this Turpid. If I remember correctly, these are fairly sluggish shells. Also, look at all the torpedoes! Okay, some of that's the Gdansk, but I think a lot more of that is the 2501. They've actually announced yet more submarine changes for the next patch. Because, you know, submarines, they're fine, they're fully functional. They're in an absolutely fine state, so of course they continue to make somewhat major gameplay changes to them, which is how you can tell they are definitely fine and fully functional. Yeah. I mean, the latest thing is, in theory, a good thing. It's designed to basically prevent shotgunning being a possibility anymore. But it does also make them even more silly compared to their real-life counterparts, because the damage that you do with the torpedoes is it's going to go up over the distance. So if you try and shotgun somebody at really close range, it's going to do barely any damage to them. So it's going to be encouraging you to try and hit them from longer ranges, which is 100% just pure, like, video game. There is no real life logic even remotely in that. It's just a complete, you know, video game fiction, essentially. That's going to be the sub that's spotting me, isn't it? So yeah, it's pretty silly. It doesn't make much sense at all, but pretty silly. Like, they've had to bend themselves in spaghetti knots to try and make subs work, and this is just going to be, you know, even less resembling what they were like in real life. But then in real life they weren't really used for the kind of battles that you have in World of Warships terribly often, if at all. The whole concept of them sailing around as part of fleets didn't last very long. It really didn't. Right, we did a little bit to that sub. Let's try that there. We could... Not sure who's focusing right now. Could that... Yeah, it's that Jinan. Okay, that's fine. My focus is maybe a little bit on the submarine at the moment, because I would like the submarine to die. Straight into double fire. Nice. I don't know where you're going, subs. You appear to still be going in a straight line. That's anything to go by. That oil on the surface. Mecklenburg. Okay. Nice. I'm just going to keep hammering this sub. Nice. There we go. That is always satisfying. It'd be even more satisfying if they were just taken out of the game entirely, but hey, you can't have everything. Right, so the Gdansk is capping. So that basically removes the sneaky things from this flank, but it also means I can't be too gung-ho here, because yeah, the Yamato got pretty beat up and has backed off, so it's basically me and the Yoshino. So even though I do still have practically full health, that could change very quickly. Just remembering how squished the armour can be. I haven't used the spotter yet, but I don't know. I'll maybe wait till, like, if I can get a broadside on the Republic, perhaps, or what's that Isamo doing back there? Nice. Yeah, oh wow, we just, okay, this is basically it. We just swarmed the other flank, murderized them, and they've not done that much on this flank. Like, this is all their divisions on this side, plus the Jinan and the Gdansk. So, you know what, we might as well go for a spotter. Let's see if we can squeeze a bit more damage out of this, because yeah, it's not going to last that much longer. The thing with their spotter though is, I mean, it's kind of, it's way more useful at close range. Oof, yeah, there we go. Because at close range, you know, you can pop the, like, you don't need the extra range at close ranges. It's the extra precision. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but yeah, that you benefit from. Whereas if you are popping it to use it for range, these are fairly these aren't fast shells. These are big, relatively slow shells. So you really don't get the added benefit unless it's somebody just like sat still in a Vermont broadside or something like that. So yeah, it's not that hard to, even at 16 kilometers. He was able to step on the brakes sufficiently there. So yeah, it's kind of like the idea is more interesting than its use in practice, to be honest, or is kind of how I feel with this consumable. But at least it's not one of those gimmicks where they've built the entire line around the gimmick. They're still usable ships otherwise. But yeah, I mean, I'm now down to half health. I've got 4 remaining, and that was just like there's so little health I can get back that yeah, it almost seems not worth using one. But at the same time, it's like, well, I've still got. I might as well use it. I might as well get that tiny bit of health back. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Republic looking my way. I really kind of. I'm gonna wait till I'm unspotted, I think. Which should be. There we go. Maybe just head towards them. Try and hoover some damage while I can. I might die in the process, but eh. What else are we going to do at this stage apart from try and get some damage out of these last few enemies? Right, let's make this turn. Well, the Republic's just fired although. Oh. Yeah, the turrets are not the quickest on this thing. They're not the slowest either. But they're definitely not the quickest. I guess that we're going. Well, that was disappointing. Yeah, that extra 3mm between 457 and 460, they do make a difference. Couple of millimeters. Yeah. Insert your own lewd thoughts there, possibly. Yeah, the rear turret angles are also not that great, which, along with the armor, doesn't help, but it's still kind of less awkward to play somehow than the Izumo. Is that gonna hurt? Oh yes, quite a lot. Dear sweet Jesus, yes. It is going to hurt. You can also kind of see, like, this isn't even a particularly high pressure engagement, and I've still taken quite a battering. You can kind of see why this hasn't necessarily been a priority for me, this line. It's just so easy to get completely pummeled by enemy battleships. There's not a lot you can do about it. There's a limit to how much you can angle when you're bounced or that squishy. Talking of squishiness, actually, I was reading the dev blog, and Rodney is going to be joining the game, and it's going to be as squishy as Nelson, but I think they're keeping the Nelson style super heal. But they're also going to give it the submerged torpedo tubes, one per side, with appropriately high damage because they were like 20-inch torp tubes, and a speed boost. So they're trying to make it. Oh, and it's also going to have basically Soviet battleship style dispersion. So the closer you are, the more accurate your guns are, basically. So that's going to be a bit of a weird combo, because you're still going to have the same squashy armor at tier 7, but you'll have the heal to soak it up, I guess? I don't know. But it's nice to have both Nelson and Rodney in the game, though. Certainly not complaining on that score. And the fact that they're trying to do something a bit different with it. So, yeah. But it's at least got a reason for being squishy, being a tier 7 battleship, because even the ones with decent belts, nobody has good bow and stern armour at tier 7, really. Right, we're just about at 100k, that's not too shabby. And we might even get a little more damage off this Izimo. But my word, we have taken a fair old beating to get here. We really have. I almost wonder with these ships if they wouldn't benefit from having a faster cooldown on the heal. Because you so rarely get to use a full heal. It's so often like a little bit here and a little bit there, and you might get a couple of thousand hit points back out of a full heal, but just because you're so prone to taking those heavy damage hits, especially with the angling on those rear turrets being so awkward, you could see why I wanted the reload. At this point, we don't really have to worry about people shooting back. Right, where am I aiming a bit off high? I don't know. Not sure if I even I don't seem to be moving forward that quickly, although actually, yeah, okay. That was not bad. That was better aimed, it was just a straddle, unfortunately. So, yeah, we won. Dreadnought, somehow. Damage-wise, yeah, I would have liked to have done a bit more, but you really can't get in people's faces so much. It's not going to work out. It really isn't. Let's go for another one. Top tier this time, which feels a little unusual in tier 9. And only CVs. No submarines. Okay. I might even have gotten enough XP off that last battle to unlock the B hull. I should have gone back to port, really, rather than saying battle on. But never mind, it's too late now. We've committed ourselves to it, so yeah. I'll have to remember to do it after this battle. It wouldn't be the first time when I've been just looking through my ships in port and realised that, oh yeah, I've got like 10 or 15 or 20,000 more experience than I needed to actually upgrade the hull or engine or whatever, and just haven't noticed. So, yeah, hardly unique. And certainly hardly the first time I've forgotten to put an upgrade in when I could actually, when I've actually unlocked it to do it. Right, well, the Vladivostok, we're going to let take the lead because I can take a punch so much better than I can. Which is a slight disadvantage of playing the squashier battleships, is you're kind of relying on A, the matchmaker having given you some tankier teammates, which with the battleship, you usually have a few battleships in a game, so that's generally not a problem, but occasionally it does happen. And B, the tankier battleships have to actually sort of be doing their job and hopefully realise that you are not a tanky battleship and therefore don't shout at you for being a tier 9 and yet not at the forefront of things. Because you'll die quickly if you are. But that's kind of harder these days, I guess, because there's just so many more ships in the game than back in the day. Back in day. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Apologies to any stout Yorkshire folk or doughty Lancastrians that might be watching. Yeah, okay. It's been a long week. It's only Tuesday. Isn't that a meme? Or is it's only Monday or something? I don't know. I know there's one that's like, it's been a long year. It's only January. 2020 certainly was that, though. Right, you actually are being very broadside right now. So let's use one of these a little bit early. I'm sort of banking on them and accelerating a little bit, which they are trying to do. Well, that was disappointing! It's not going to get much better than that. It's certainly not the same as using the Shikishima's thing in-game. What's it? You know the thing I mean. The thing where you get the thing that does the thing. Have I mentioned that I'm a little tired, maybe? Perhaps. Right, well that wasn't a particularly sterling use of the precision spotter, in that it really didn't benefit me at all, so that was good. Yeah. Try not to be focused too much here. Well, I'm not being focused at all so far. That's probably the black. They do have a decent presence on this side, but they have a more than decent presence on this side as well. On the plus side, that does mean it looks like we're going to get a mid-cap uncontested. Again, that 3mm! That 3mm makes so much difference. Okay. Right. Hello, sea mines! Yeah, it's not known for its speedy torpedoes, that ship. Right, use the cover of this island, the shadow of this island, to maybe make a turn. Right, if only it were just the Monarch on this flag, I'd be less worried. Although Monarch's guns can still overmatch. Still 15-inch guns. Right, tanked that nicely on the belt. Helps that Flandre doesn't have super guns. See if we get lucky with this Takao. Oh, yeah, there we go. Citadel, that'll do. Citadel and an overpan. Ooh. You're actually turning back more broadside. Okay, that's a choice. And RNG did not really let you get away with it, which I am more than okay with. Right, let's make a turn. Oof, yeah, they're struggling for points badly. They've lost 4 ships already. They don't have a cap, so they're already down to only 90 points. And then, now they're down to 65 points. Goodness gracious. This might not be the longest match. This might be a very short match. Well, they've got themselves a cap now, at least. There goes their shot lost. Oh dear, we're having weird echoes of the last match, only this time it's happening quicker. Somehow. Well, I don't know what to say about that. There must be something about Tuesdays, he says, with a sample size of literally 2 matches, which is obviously statistically significant. Right, let's slow down to get the turrets in place. Fire my rear turrets and then go back to turning a bit more. That Iowa's been super, like, I've not done a lot with that Iowa. Okay, we lost a finito. I mean, we've definitely not won this, but my word, we would have to throw it quite hard from this point. Right, Iowa, what are you doing? I kind of don't want to go around the corner and give I mean, I'm already kind of giving the Iowa a nice shot if they decide to take it. So we're actually going to backpedal a bit here. A little. I guess they're Monarch. Yeah. This is certainly a game. Oh, why am I very itchy? Fat fingers, that's why. Well, that really did not do much. Okay. Very, very fat fingers. Okay, there goes the Flanderer. Well, I guess we just go all in on this Iowa, though. They must have been at least partly built for secondaries. If they were firing off at that range. I feel like I can take at least a little bit of credit for that. I can't be the first person in the world that noticed that, hey, Flandra's got quite a lot of secondary turrets per side. But certainly that video, one of the better performing ones of last year. I've noticed that generally, actually, if I do a video that is specifically and obviously about operations, it tends to do weirdly well. So there's certainly plenty of people that are, you know, that ops are their main interest in the game. Right, oh, right. You are very close. And I'm going to have a nice big fat broadside. So let's see if we can't make some hay. This might hurt though. Oh, it wasn't too bad. Nice! Nearly 20k. Can I get my turrets round in time? Can I ninja the kill? Can I? Ah, yes, I did, but it was with a fire set by my secondaries, of all things. Okay. Well then. It's just a Lexington. He's in mode, literally trying to get to the next map. And the black is somewhere in that smoke cloud as well. Okay. Oh, we're even going to get a few points from capping, so isn't that nice? Halford's one of the ones I got at during the whole Kitakate thing, actually, so I'll probably play the Halford on the channel at some point. The other one I kind of would like to show off is the Shield, which is that an O class? I can't remember. One of the it's one of the pocket battleship designs, to be very British about it, that wasn't built. But I don't know if it's semi-wargaming invention or if it's a bit more faithful to the original plans. Anyway, it's the same guns, but I think you've got 4 per turret instead of 3. But it's at tier 8 as well, so it's kind of the big brother of the Graf Spee. They had plans drawn up for a couple of different sizes of them, but yeah, the sort of bigger, more displacement you put into such an idea, it gets sort of more and more nonsensical as a commerce raider. Maybe the bigger ones were also meant to sort of double up as heavy cruisers or whatever. You know, fleet support ships. Right, let's get another in the dying... Oh, we are literally the dying second. We just hit 1,000. Never mind. Okay then. Right, well, neither of those was spectacular damage games, but neither of them was also a game with particularly stiff opposition. Though I did have a much rougher time of it in the first game. But the fact that I was top tier there and that Iowa was so shy, that probably helped. So, while I remember, but that's enough XP for both modules, let's do that. And get this thing up to its full potential. Still a fairly long grind to go till tier 10, but that's fine. It'll happen eventually. So that's it for the Adatara. Were those typical games? They were certainly games. They definitely were things I participated in. I can say that much. As for typical, as for showing off the ship's best qualities, well, who knows? I do know, however, it would be nice to have that extra 3 inches. And make of that statement 3 millimeters! Oh my god, okay, no, that was Freudian brain slip right there. I'm not even going to edit out that. That's just going to stay where it is. And you can all laugh about that and point and laugh at me in the comments. Oh, it really is time to finish this recording. So if you enjoyed this, you can do all the usual things down underneath the video. And as always, stay tuned for more.